Good evening. This is Akashvani. I am Valsa Williams with the news at 9. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi addresses first session of the G20 Summit in Johannesburg, South Africa, calls for rethinking on global development parameters and prioritise inclusive and sustainable growth. Joint declaration adopted at G20 Summit addresses global challenges including climate crisis. 37 underground members of banned CPI Maoist, including 3 senior state committee members, surrender in Telangana. Commission for Air Quality Management revises graded action plan for Delhi-NCR region in view of deteriorating air quality. Armed men kidnap nearly 300 students from a Catholic school in central Nigeria. And Indian shooter Mahit Sandhu clinches gold in the women's 50-metre rifle 3 positions at Summer Deaflympics in Tokyo. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has called for a profound rethinking of global development parameters, addressing the first session of the G20 Leaders Summit in Johannesburg, South Africa today. Mr. Modi noted that while the G20 has long shaped global finance and growth, prevailing models have deprived large populations of resources and driven the overexploitation of nature, challenges felt acutely in Africa. He also noted that some historic decisions from the New Delhi summit have been carried forward. We have a report from our correspondent covering the visit of the Prime Minister.
Giving shape to the vision of one Earth, one family, one future, Prime Minister Narendra Modi today presented India's vision at G20 Johannesburg Summit. 4 key proposals presented by Prime Minister Modi include Global Traditional Knowledge Repository, a G20 Africa Skills Multiplier Initiative aimed at preparing 1 million certified trainers in Africa over the next decade, creation of a G20 Global Healthcare Response Team emphasizing the need for trained medical experts from G20 countries, and to address the growing threat of drug trafficking, including dangerous substances such as fentanyl, a proposal of G20 initiative on countering the drug terror nexus. Asonyo, Akashvani News, Johannesburg.
Leaders at the G20 Summit in Johannesburg, South Africa today adopted a joint declaration by consensus despite US opposition. The declaration emphasized that solidarity, equality and sustainability are essential pillars of inclusive global growth. The 39-page document highlighted energy security, climate action and disaster resilience, while acknowledging rising geopolitical tensions, conflicts and deepening inequality as threats to economic stability. The declaration stressed multilateral cooperation, adherence to international law and peaceful dispute resolution, implicitly referencing nations involved in territorial conflicts. The G20 endorsed sustainable industrialization, energy transition strategies and the critical minerals framework to promote prosperity and equitable growth. South Africa's Minister of International Relations and Cooperation, Ronald Lamola, hailed the outcome as a milestone for the African continent and a strong affirmation of multilateralism. He stressed that the forum represents all 21 members equally and that those present had agreed on a shared direction for the world. Prime Minister Narendra Modi held a meeting with his Australian counterpart Anthony Albanese and Canadian counterpart Mike Carney on the sidelines of the G20 summit. In a social media post, Mr. Modi said they are delighted to announce the Australia-Canada-India Technology and Innovation Partnership today. He added that the initiative will deepen collaboration between democratic partners across 3 continents and 3 oceans in emerging technologies, support diversification of supply chains, clean energy and mass adoption of AI. On the sidelines of the summit, Prime Minister Modi also met UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer. In a social media post, Mr. Modi said this year has brought new energy to the India-UK partnership and they will keep driving it forward across many domains. In Telangana, 37 underground members of the banned CPI Maoist, including 3 senior state committee members, returned to the mainstream in Hyderabad. They include 25 women who surrendered before Telangana Director General of Police, B. Shivadhar Reddy. They surrendered 8 firearms, including one AK-47 and some live ammunition. More from our correspondent.
In a significant development, 37 Maoists, including 25 women, surrendered before the Telangana police and returned to the mainstream, taking the total surrenders to 465 during the year 2025 in the state. Two Telangana State Committee members, Koyada Sambaya, known as Azad, and Appasi Narayana, known as Ramesh, and South Bassar DVC Secretary Muchaki Somada are among those who surrendered today. As per Telangana DGP Shivadhar Reddy, the collective decision of the 37 cadres was influenced by the recent appeal by the state government to renounce violence and return to civilian life. Responding to a question for the reasons for surrender, Sambaya said the decision came in the light of changing circumstances. Lakshmi, Akashvani News, Hyderabad.
This is Akashvani giving you the news. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our X handle at AIR News Alerts. And for details of stories and more, log on to our website www.newsonair.gov.in and download News on AIR app. Welcome back. Here with us on the news at 9. The Commission for Air Quality Management, CAQM, has revised the Graded Action Plan GRAP for the Delhi-NCR region for making it more stringent to prevent further deterioration of air quality. According to the CAQM, several curbs that previously fell under GRAP 4 will now be included under GRAP 3. Similarly, the measures of GRAP 3 will now be implemented under GRAP 2, while the measures of GRAP 2 will be included in GRAP 1. Our correspondent has the details.
According to the revised schedule of CAQM, several measures that were implemented in Stage 2 will now be implemented in Stage 1, such as ensuring interrupted power supply to prevent the use of diesel generators, intensifying traffic management and issuing public advisories. Additionally, the measures earlier listed under Stage 3 have been moved to Stage 2, such as staggering working hours for government offices in Delhi, Gurugram, Faridabad, Ghaziabad and Gautam Budh Nagar. Similarly, restrictions previously applicable only in Stage 4 will now apply at Stage 3. These include allowing state government, municipal and private offices to operate with 50% staff while the rest to work from home. The CAQM said that the central government may take appropriate decision on permitting work from home for employees in central government offices. Akshit Vaidyan, Akashvani News, Delhi.
Prominent international organizations such as the International Labour Organization and the International Social Security Association have welcomed the government's announcement to bring the 4 labour codes into effect from yesterday. They have recognized the reforms as a major step towards strengthening social protection, enhancing minimum wage frameworks and building institutional capacity. The Labour and Employment Ministry said their remarks further underscore India's growing leadership in shaping global labour and social security standards. Director General ILO stated in a social media post that social dialogue among government, employers and workers will remain essential as reforms are implemented to ensure they are positive for workers and business. International Social Security Association said the labour codes add momentum to global efforts for stronger and more inclusive social security systems. The GST Bachat Utsav began on the 22nd of September as the Narendra Modi government slashed GST rates in many sectors, benefiting citizens across the country. Our correspondent brings a report on how the next generation GST reforms are boosting the economy of Uttar Pradesh.
The next generation GST reforms have provided major relief to farmers, artisans, small businesses and local industries of Uttar Pradesh. Under the revised tax rates, the hand-woven carpet clusters from the Bhadohi-Jaunpur region are now taxed at 5% from the earlier 12% slab. Similarly, the GST on Agra's marble inlay craft, which supports around 20,000 workers, has also been brought down to 5% tax slab. This move has made handicrafts more affordable for buyers, boosting sales and easing cost pressures on small workshops. Along with this, the cement industry of the state, spread across Mathura, Mirzapur and Aligarh, has also benefited from the reduced GST rates. The taxes on cement and construction materials have been reduced to 18% from the previous 28% slab. With Soumya Sharan, Anand Kumar, Akashvani News, Delhi.
More than 300 children and staff were reportedly kidnapped by gunmen from a Catholic school in central Nigeria making it one of the worst mass abductions the country has seen. The Christian Association of Nigeria said 303 students and 12 teachers were abducted from the St. Mary's School in Papiri, Niger State yesterday morning. The kidnapping comes amid a surge of attacks by armed groups. Local police said armed men stormed the school, abducting students who were staying there. The 56th edition of the International Film Festival of India continues to enthrall cine lovers for the third day today. Akashvani brings an exclusive coverage from the ground.
The third day at IFFI 2025 saw multiple screenings across venues. Vidhu Vinod Chopra kept everyone glued to their seats during his masterclass with his amazing sense of humour.
But maybe he's a decent man, he doesn't want to say it here, but I'll say it because I'm not that decent. It's because the producers said, अच्छा, तो आप करेंगे तो क्या? मैंने कहा ऐसा है सर, मुझे फिल्म बनाने दीजिए, मैं रिलीज नहीं करूँगा.
Anupam Kher is screening his film Tanvi the Great at the festival. The film's protagonist, Tanvi, is an autistic girl who is determined to make her martyr father's dream come true of conquering the Siachen. Mr. Kher said that the film is about never giving up on one's goals. Italian directors Valentina Bertani and Nicole Bertani spoke to Akashvani exclusively about the film called Mosquitoes, which is also nominated for the coveted Golden Peacock Award.
We choose mosquitoes because mosquitoes are insects that bite a lot and are very disturbing as the kids. And our girls is very small, but they're very dangerous.
The stars continue to shine on the Goan sky as well as on ground at IFFI. With Adarsh and Nikhil, this is Saira Mujtaba from Goa.
Out of sports, continuing with her splendid debut run, Indian shooter Mahit Sandhu today clinched the women's 50-metre rifle 3 positions gold for her 4th medal at the Summer Deaflympics in Tokyo. She totaled 456 after 45 shots to bag her 2nd gold of the Games. Mahit also broke both the Deaf qualification world record and the Deaflympics world record on her way to the final. South Korea's Dane Jeong took silver, while Hungary's Mira Susanna Biatowski claimed bronze. India stormed into the finals of the first Women's T20 World Cup cricket for the blind with a dominant 9-wicket win over Australia in the semi-final match at the iconic P. Sara Oval Stadium in Colombo today. India will face Nepal in the final tomorrow. In the first semi-final match, Australia's Chanakan Buakau top scored with 34 to take their total to 109 for 9 in the stipulated 20 overs. Basanti Hansda top scored for India with 45, while Ganga Kadam on 41 and K. Karuna were on 16 were not out when they took India into the finals with 112 for 1 in 11.5 overs. In the second semi-final match today, Nepal defeated Pakistan by 7 wickets. In men's cricket, South Africa were 247 for the loss of 6 wickets in their first innings against India on day 1 in the second and final test at the Barsapara Cricket Stadium in Guwahati when stumps were drawn this evening. Earlier, South Africa won the toss and opted to bat first. For the hosts, Kuldeep Yadav has bagged 3 wickets, while Jasprit Bumrah, Mohammad Siraj and Ravindra Jadeja took 1 wicket each. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi addresses first session of the G20 Summit in Johannesburg, South Africa, calls for rethinking on global development parameters and prioritizing inclusive and sustainable growth. Joint declaration adopted at G20 Summit addresses global challenges including climate crisis. 37 underground members of banned CPI Maoist, including 3 senior state committee members, surrender in Telangana. Commission for Air Quality Management revises graded action plan for Delhi-NCR region in view of deteriorating air quality. Armed men kidnapped nearly 300 students from a Catholic school in central Nigeria. And Indian shooter Mahit Sandhu clinches gold in the women's 50-metre rifle with 3 positions at Summer Deaflympics in Tokyo. That is all in the news at 9. Good night.